Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
YouTube, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Nathan. I'm back. As I stated, I went live just a few minutes ago with the Lamar Jackson video. This episode, we're previewing the Final Four for the ladies. Tomorrow, they both play. We got Stanford versus ranked number 2 UConn, and then Louisville versus South Carolina. Tomorrow, I will preview the men's because they play Saturday Final Four. So be tuned in for that episode. Let's just get into it, man. This is the Final Four. For the most part, my bracket is pretty much messed up. It actually is messed up after the first week. I did not expect. Well, I did not. I predicted UConn would. So I wanted Iowa and UConn in that matchup, but that didn't happen. Um, Ironically, in one of the groups that I'm in first place, but I have four brackets. Let's just see where we've gotten to. So after it was a good game, North Carolina State lost to NC State 87-91. Stanford beat Texas. I thought we could get past Stanford, but that's okay. Still have not recovered from that, but it is okay. Look, man, let's just get into it. These are four great teams. Uh, Paige Beckers has been on a tear since we come back from her injury. Congratulations to Don Stanley, Coach of the Year, and Aaliyah Boston, Defensive Player of the Year and National Player of the Year, well deserved. Just was no surprise that she was going to win National Player of the Year. You have to give her flowers. I told you from day one, from last year, losing to Stanford in the national championship, they're on a mission. And I'm still sticking with my picks. I think I did a short video. It's going to be Stanford versus UConn. They're both going to advance to the national championship. Guaranteed. But before, South Carolina has to get through the Louisville Cardinals. Okay. Stanford, and that's Louisville. After that horrendous, that game buzzer beater in the loss to Miami in the ACC quarterfinals. I know they beat Tennessee and Michigan by 24 points combined, if I remember that correctly. Haley Van Lith has been on a tear. She's averaging almost 22 points a game. Then you got Emily S. Tangler, if I'm saying that name from right. She transferred from Syracuse. Been playing great. She's been playing well. I know she's had a couple double-doubles in the last, 2 games. Then they got someone named Kiana Smith. So I can think of off their roster. She's been also pretty good as well. I think the biggest thing is their defense is going to be the key to beating South Carolina. I think I've seen some of the games. They play great defense, and they're really they don't turn the ball over. I think this, and even now the National Player of the Year. How are you going to match up with them defensively? How the turnovers? I say if they commit 7 or more turnovers, I think it's going to be game for them. Now, on the flip side, okay, South Carolina, they have been the best ranked school, number 1 school all year. They haven't budged, and let's just keep it real. They've only lost 2 games. Okay, they've they pretty much said the best. They're on a mission, okay, to win the national championship. There's no doubt about it. Dawn Stanley, let's give her flowers. In the 7 years, she's been to the Final Four now 4 straight times. Cannot take that away from her. I'm looking at Jeff Waltz. I think he took over the program. I want to say it's like an 07. He's definitely built that Louisville program up. Got to give him the credit. But Aaliyah Boston is the key to winning this game. I mean, she's averaging almost 17 and 13 a game. And she has been practically unstoppable. Now, I think the other key for, like I said, Haley Van Lith and my gosh, I just forgot her name, Emily Instegler. They're the keys. Just can you contain Aaliyah Boston? I think that's the key going into the game. Now, fun fact: break it down both teams. Look at the stats. I really think that South Carolina is going to play. I'm going to say smaller. I'm kind of curious to see the lineup that Dawn's going to have out there. And if you remember Sunday's game, Dawn had not, it wasn't on the defensive side of the ball. That's what changed. And I kind of want to see how Destiny, Z, and the others, how they're going to play. Like, I really think how their offense is going to be effective. If they can, because if you've noticed the first couple games, they were really not struggle, but they really just could not get shots going. Even though that after Sunday's game, they put 80 points against Creighton. So the criticism of their offense is a snail's pace. That didn't happen. Now, with Louisville, like I stated, their defense is the key. If they can contain Aaliyah Boston, even if you got to double her, take away double, make her be a passer, force her to force to commit turnovers, and just kind of taking her play out the game. I think if you could do that, I think the Louisville Cardinals will have a good game. But this South Carolina team, no matter how you look at it, I think that they're the better team. I think they're shooting. I think they're going to have a better offensive game. I think they know that this is going to be a tough game defensively, and they're going to earn. And Louisville is going to have to make them earn those points. And I know that the Gamecocks, they're ready for this game. That's just how I feel. Can't take that away. I'm not going to take that away from them. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to call it. It's going to be the South Carolina Gamecocks. I'm going to say the final score, 85-69.
Guaranteed.
I think it's going to be one of those games. And again, this you might see like the first quarter is going to be don't bend, don't break defense, both sides. I know like pretty much everyone's favorite South Carolina to win, but again, it just comes down to defense, and I'm going to see a lot. It could be. I might say it feels like a low scoring game, but I think it could be taken away. So, and then also I got to take into account. I should have said this, that Louisville is a better free throw shooting team, but that's hearsay. Now, we're going to go to the most surprising, but I think it's going to be a good one. The Stanford Cardinals versus the University of Connecticut Huskies. Well, I already know we saw Stanford, Maryland. Painfully, we lost in the Sweet 16, and they took care of business in the Elite Eight against Texas. I'm sorry. I just can't. I cannot escape that we lost. Just let it go, Nate. Just let it go. Anyway, look, UConn. This is now what their 14th, 15th Final Four appearance. I've lost count. Okay. Um, that was a great game against North Carolina State. I'm still mad at Westmore. My question is, why did you call a timeout? Why did you not advance the ball? And why was Diamond Johnson? I just
Where the hell are you? You got to be kidding me.
that's just what I want to know. You got to get. I just that made no sense. But Paige missed, I think it was 19 games with her knee injury, if I'm not mistaken. Um, she had 27 against the Wolfpack, if I remember that correctly. Uh, I do know that, was it Dorka? She fractured her wrist. I believe she had a successful surgery, and she's going to come back next year. So I wish her all this. I wish her a speedy recovery. So that could hurt. That's a potential. I consider hurting him in the lineup. But then I got to take into account Stanford. I mean, beating Maryland, beating Texas, um, since what before Christmas when they played South Carolina, that's pretty much the only really true loss that they've taken. Uh, Haley Jones, Cameron Brink, Lexi Hall, like they're the keys. Like I, what do you want me to say? I mean, they can pretty and you it's going to have to be more like the same thing. I think defense is going to come into play. Um, already know, like Coach Vanderveer, she is arguably one of the best coaches in the game. Coach Gino, one of the best coaches in the game. Like I know it. Like we know what they're going to bring to the table. We know what these teams are going to be like. I feel like it's going to come down to finishing, making shots. I think it's going to be a good game. Like I think the injuries that UConn has suffered all season, I think it's going to come back to bite them. I really do. And then with Stanford, you can't. I mean, there's really nothing else you can say. I mean, they're on their way to a fourth national championship, in my opinion. Uh, I do think that with this game, I expect it to be I expect it to be a high scoring game. I do. Um, they're going to have to. I think UConn's going to figure out how to take advantage of the mismatches. Well, no, I take it back. Stanford's going to have Wolf are going to have to find ways how to take advantage of the mismatches. I think what Haley Jones is what 6'2", 6'1", 6'1", 6'2", and then Paige is what 5'10", 5'11". So I think that's one thing you got to take into consideration. I do feel like that's going to be the key. I think is how do you take advantage of the mismatches. Um, Fun fact, I want to say this for UConn. Since the 9th of February, I believe they haven't lost a game. The biggest factor to their success since then has been their defense. And I believe the games that from then until then now, they've only allowed 50 points or less. No, they allowed 50 points or more. And I think that they're going to make Stanford a little uncomfortable and make the same thing like Louisville. They're going to make them earn those points. I think that's the key. Because Aziz Fudd, I think she's definitely having a great year as a freshman. Um, I do think that, I mean, he's had 11 different starting lineups out there the whole season. But I think the key is the defense. With Stanford, I think that foul trouble kind of is the key. I think to not get into foul trouble, but they have shown that they can persevere with foul trouble. I believe, like, if Haley Jones, or for example, had 4 fouls, okay, Lexi Hall, her sister, Cameron Brink, others are going to have to step it up. I think that's the key. They have length at pretty much every position. So, again, I think they're going to take advantage of the mismatches for sure. And I definitely see their formula of winning. They have been – the Stanford is so – they play a certain type of way. They play a certain type of way of basketball. And I've noticed, like with Maryland, Kansas, they've had to come out their shell. I think they've been comfortable playing at a certain level of basketball, and I think they've had to change their approach in certain situations, whether it's on the offensive side or the defensive side. I think they scored 90 points against Kansas, and then 59 points to get to where they're at now. So, I mean, if you're Stanford, I mean, I think this is it. I think take advantage of the mismatches, commit to less foul trouble. I think it's a good game, honestly and truthfully. But I'm going to say the St. Louis, the Stanford Cardinals, I'm going to say they upset UConn 79-72.
Guaranteed.
That's just my Final Four preview. I wish these 4 teams all the best. It's going to be 2 great basketball games. But I'm sticking with my pick is Haley Jones versus Aaliyah Boston 2. Dawn Stanley versus Tara Vanderveer. It all has the makings of a great national championship. But these are 4 great teams, and you got to tip your hats off to them all. Even to the those from '64 all the way to now. This is what March Madness is all about. NC State should be in the Final Four, but Westmore.
Skip. Good Lord, thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man. I don't understand it.
So, y'all let me know y'all predictions, y'all scores. Who do you think is going to win tomorrow? Who do you see advancing the national championship for the ladies? For the men, I will do the episode tomorrow evening around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So be tuned in for that. Really quick, I want to take this opportunity to say you might see some gaming on this channel. Don't know yet. I'm still thinking. Not sure. I'm not sure yet. See how everything plays out. But until then, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy Friday. Happy Friday to those. Over here, it's now Friday on the East Coast. It's still Thursday on the West Coast. So enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Get a good night's sleep. Let's finish off the week strong. Until then, I'm out. Peace. Stay up, y'all.
Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.